Richard Sibbes, Antidotum contra naufragium, Episode 1. Antidotum contra naufragium fidei et bonae conscientiae. Custori praeclarum depositum per spiritum sanctum habitantem in nobis. Epistola secunda ad Timotheum, capituli primi et quarti et decimi versiculi. Sanctam animam Deo iam brevi rediturus Paulus, et coelo proximus, Timotheum filium instruit in iis quae et ipsi et ecclesiae usui essent. Sibbes begins with the title Antidotum, a remedy or an antidote against contra naufragium fidei et bonae conscientiae. That is a remedy or a cure. This is related to the Greek verb didomi, to give back. It has been Latinized, a cure against the shipwreck, naufragium. This is a combination of the words navis and the verb frangere, which means to break. So a naufragium is a breaking of the ship or a shipwreck. So the cure against the shipwreck of faith, fidei, and of a good conscience, bonae conscientiae. And both of these are feminine singular and genitive. So that's the title. He then quotes from 2 Timothy 1:14, custodi, guard or keep safe, the praeclarum depositum, the exceptional, outstanding, glorious, or excellent deposit, habitantem, the one that we have in us. So habitantem and praeclarum are both modifying depositum, the one that lives in us or dwells in us per spiritum sanctum, by means of, through the agency of the Holy Spirit. Habitantem is masculine, singular, and accusative. It's a present active participle, and incidentally it tells us that depositum is masculine, because while praeclarum depositum could be masculine or neuter, if it's modified by a masculine adjective, habitantem, then it can only be masculine. In us, nobis in the ablative, and masculine in plural. He begins with sanctam animam, the holy soul, the holy mind, most likely soul. To God, now in just a short time, iam brevi, and this is brevi tempore, ablative of time when, Paul, there's our subject in the nominative, rediturus, modifying Paulus. Rediturus is a future active participle from the verb redo, redere, which means to return or to give back. So even though in Latin there is no subordination here, because Paulus is the subject of instruit and Timotheum filium is the object, when we translate it into English, we will probably want to create a subordination. And thus we would say, when Paul was about to return his holy soul, or give his holy soul back to God in just a short amount of time, rediturus, then modifying Paulus, and because it's active, it can take an object, and it does in this instance take animam. And when he was very close, proximus, modifying Paulus, masculine singular nominative, when he was very close to heaven, coelo proximus, coelo here in the dative with this adjective proximus, what did he do? He instructed, instruit, his son filium Timothy. Instruit is a present tense, but we can translate it in the past as an historical present. He instructed his son Timothy, apposition, in those things, quae essent, which were for a use, for himself, and for the church. This is dative, and ipsi and ecclesiae. These are all datives. This is the double dative expression, the dative of reference and the dative of purpose. The things which were useful, we would say in English, for a use, both for himself, i.e. Timothy, and for the church. Essent is subjunctive, it's an imperfect subjunctive, because this is a relative clause of characteristic. It's a relative clause of characteristic with a subjunctive, in other words, those kinds of things which, it's generalizing. And Sibbes was born in 1577, died in 1635.